Creed 2's coming out this week, and I just wanted to give a brief overview of the Rocky series. I have 1 through 6 on Blu ray and currently Creed on DVD. I wanted to see it again before the new movie, and Walmart didn't have the Blu ray, so I popped for the DVD for $5. I'm gonna get the Blu ray, then give this to Goodwill or something. I don't know. But Rocky, the original, Stallone wrote mostly all the movies except for this one, I believe, but it was the first one was written by Stallone. He was homeless at the time, wound up selling his dog for $50, which was the dog in the first movie, and he was determined to not only sell the script but star in the movie. He felt he put so much emotion into it, he was the only one that could properly bring the character to life. He stuck by his guns. Eventually, he sold it and got the deal to star in it. First thing he did was buy his dog back for $3,000. Just very inspirational story in the making of the movie. Rocky 1, it focuses on Rocky getting the chance of a lifetime to face the champion Apollo Creed, played by Carl Weathers, another fantastic actor, and Rocky is just a great lovable loser that so many in the first one, but that so many fans have seen so much of themselves in. At first glance, he seems kind of slow and not that bright, but he's smarter than people give him credit for. People underestimate him, and he proves them wrong. I can relate. I was in special ed throughout school. Even my guidance counselors underestimated me. My senior year, when I expressed interest in college, I was point blank told by my pathetic excuse for a guidance counselor, "You're not college material." And again, it's something I can see a little bit of myself in Rocky because people are constantly underestimating him. He has a crush on the local pet shop girl, Adrian. He's best friends with her brother, Paulie. Adrian's shy and always in her shell, but Rocky sees her best qualities and sees things in her she doesn't even see for himself. Paulie, played by Burt Young, this character's mean and sensitive. He always says the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you shouldn't like him, but the way Burt Young plays him, the character's enduring. There's the owner of the local gym, Mickey, who doesn't really like Rocky because he feels he wasted his potential, and then when Rocky gets the chance, he offers to manage and help train Rocky, and a father-son relationship forges. And at the end, the final battle, it's not about winning, it's about going the distance, and I love that message that sometimes winning doesn't matter. All that matters is that you give it your best, pour your heart and soul into it, and if you fall short, you can still be proud of what you did. Second film takes up immediately after. We know the story. Rocky marries Adrian, she gets pregnant, they're desperate for money, so he takes the rematch with Creed. In this film has just as much heart as the first one. The two feel like one big movie. All the characters are expanded better. And you see a little bit of something that plays off in the next movie where Rocky needs help and he tries to convince Paulie to take over payments of the car, but he won't admit he needs help. Adrian, there's a scene where Paulie, he tries to do the right thing because Rocky's training, and well, this ain't a full review, it's just an overview, but he's trying to confront Adrian saying, you need to back your husband, and something happens to her and she has complications and winds up in a coma, and you can tell Paulie blames himself. Eventually she comes out of it and even tells Rocky, I just want you to do one thing, win. They train, Rocky wins the belt, moves on to the third movie, which explores what happens when you get the success and lose your edge. Well, things turn bad for Rocky. He loses his trainer, Mickey passes away, which was a great emotional scene. He loses the belt to Clubber Lang, and then Apollo Creed comes out of the shadows, so to speak, to offer to retrain Rocky, and it's very heartwarming to see a friendship born between these two, and all Apollo Creed wants in return is just a private match between him and Rocky, no cameras, no nothing, to just prove to himself he still has it. We don't find out the winner till many years later, although when you think about it in Rocky 4, it's obvious because Apollo challenges Drago, transitioning into Rocky 4. Rocky's back on top, he's got the eye of the tiger back. Apollo has more confidence. He challenges the Russian boxer Viktor Drago and he dies in the ring. Rocky feels he has to avenge his friend. He goes to train in Siberia. Viktor Drago doesn't speak much. And I love the training contrast in this because Drago is training in the most high-tech, state-of-the-art way. Rocky's chopping wood, running in snow, lifting rocks, pushing up a cart with people sitting on it, running up a mountain. And it's that determination, still that determination. Rocky, great thing about the character, how he has a big heart. He'll push himself. He may not have the best tools at his disposal, but he'll push himself as far and hard as he needs to every single time. And we get a great match where at one point the Soviet crowd starts cheering for Rocky. And I love this take because this film came out in a time where everyone they wanted an end to the Cold War. They wanted it to end, and you can feel that in this movie. Rocky 5, The Black Sheep, I like it, but I think it's definitely the weakest in the franchise. He loses everything due to an issue with the accountant, takes a trainer, Tommy Gunn, under his wing, and Tommy betrays him, and it ends with a street fight. Rocky doesn't want to fight until Tommy Gunn punches Paulie in the face, and it's at that point, you laid your hands on my family. All bets are off. It's still a fun movie. It has its entertaining points. It's the weakest. Rocky because he's so determined to get his family back on top, he starts putting his family second to training Tommy, and there are good moments in that. And it ends with a nice moment between him and his son, Rocky Balboa. It's many years later. Adrian has passed away. Rocky is in a constant state of mourning. He doesn't have the best relationship with his son. He winds up meeting the girl he walked home from the first movie, Little Marie, in a friendship / very subtle romance that doesn't go anywhere sparks up between them, and it gives Rocky something to keep moving, that he found people that are worse off than him and he's in a position he can help them. And there was a computer fight between him and the champion Mason the Line Dixon where he wins, and it drives Rocky to fight again. He just wants to do a small fight, but he ends up going in the ring with Dixon, and Rocky finally finds that drive to move forward. Hold on a minute. In this speech, it needs to be given at graduation ceremonies. I think every young man and woman needs to hear this. And I'm going to read it off here. Let me tell you something that you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and very nasty place, and it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you can get hit. It ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and stop pointing fingers saying, you ain't where you supposed to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. And it's a great speech. Burt Young, this is also probably his best at Paulie in the entire series. Again, a character you really shouldn't like, but Burt Young endures you to him the way he plays it. Rocky's running a restaurant named Adrian's, which they founded in 95, and that's like a shrine to the memory of his wife. Ultimately, he gets the match in Vegas, and much like the first one, perfect bookend. It's not about winning, it's about just going the distance and doing your best. And at the end, it's a split decision, and Rocky don't care. He did his best. He's happy. Then comes Creed, an illegitimate son of Apollo Creed. He wants to be a boxer. He's got natural talent, but no one will train him because people in the area are trying to protect him. He goes on to get Rocky to train him, which he has to work at. And Creed's hot-headed but lovable. He calls him uncle, family. He develops a bond between Rocky, and again, it's a father-son relationship, and gets into a relationship with this girl with progressive hearing loss. Eventually, he gets a chance to fight the champion who's going to prison and looking for one last payday for his family. And it's the same thing where, again, it's not about winning, it's about giving your absolute best and letting the chips fall where they may. Phenomenal film, and it's just, I love the series. If there's one emotion I take away from each and every one of these films, it's optimism. That if you do it your best, even if you don't succeed all the way, things will still work out. You can still be happy at life. These are just great movies with so much heart poured into them. A labor of love, and probably my second favorite franchise after Godzilla. So what are your thoughts on the Rocky series? Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell me if you're going to see Creed 2. I'm going to do a brief review of it, but when I get it on Blu-ray, I'm going to review the franchise. Over and out.